Hello and welcome. This video is about a very rare opportunity coming up where you could earn 8 times fame in one race. This type of race you see is the best type for it, an endless endurance race where you can go as long as you want to. And check this out. I've hit 450 kilometers an hour in this car slipstreaming. Of course, you've got to be careful. This is the highest paying race in the entire game as far as endurance races. It's also one of the hardest ones, and if you make a big mistake, even a small mistake sometimes, is just over. So we've got to discuss several different things. Like, it depends where you live in the world as far as strategies that are available to you to actually get the option to do this. Then there's some disclaimers because there's some weird math within the game. And so we're going to get into all these things. So first, disclaimer number one. The official patch notes say nothing about the 100% bonus fame day coming up. People have found this information by going into the game code, the game files, and seeing it there. So that's my first disclaimer, is that something could change. It's highly unlikely they're going to change this, but I just want you to know that before you start doing anything to try to get this opportunity for 8 times fame. How does 8 times fame pay even work? Okay, well, there are 3 things that we need. First, it needs to be a 100% bonus fame period, which is usually a 24-hour period that runs. It's very rare. They used to run it on their anniversary date, but they haven't been doing that since the year 2020. Second, it has to be 100% bonus fame on your first race day. So that happens once a month. Third, something we can always do, you hire the agent. Now you might be saying, well, that's only 3 things, and so that should only be 6 times fame. Well, I'll just show you using some simple math how it works. I'll use a nice round number for this example. So you run a really long race and you earn 100,000 fame. If it's 100% bonus fame period and you didn't take advantage of anything else, you get double the fame, so that's 200,000. However, if that was your first race on the 100% bonus reward, then that goes times 2 again. So 200,000 times 2 is 400,000. Then if you hire the agent, it's times 2 one more time. Well, 400,000 times 2 is 800,000, not 6. However, in the past, I've got this recorded in 2 different videos. There's a glitch where it does 8 times fame first, then it claws you back to 6 times fame. So you get your gold payout, but then your overall fame numbers get reduced and your driver level actually goes down, but you get to keep the gold you earned. It's kind of strange, and I'm pretty sure it's still going to work this way. Let's go back to 2020 when I did this race in the Ferrari FXXK. There's my fame pay. So if you do the math on that, that's 8 times fame. So that's my initial fame. That takes me to driver level 1012. But then let's look at the final screen. And if you reverse this math, you will find that my final fame pay is based on a 6 times multiplier. And then let's go back to the game. I got reduced to driver level 1011, but I got to keep all that gold. Let's go back to the year prior, 2019, where I did 600 laps versus 200 laps on that other video. This took 6 hours and 15 minutes. Look at that, 2.5 million fame. That's crazy. And I go all the way up to 983. After this, it clawed me back to driver level 982. My final fame pay is just over 1.9 million, which is what would show up in my player profile numbers if you go to that part of the game. Disclaimer 3, so it's really clear, you keep all the gold you earn. There are still some important things to cover. In the background, I'm just about to hit the 200 kilometer mark in my Volkswagen IDR. This is a great option because it's fast, it pays a lot, and you can do this totally destroy. Like, after crashes like that, I still have no trouble keeping a 51-second lap going. We'll get into some options later. I've turned off the race volume because this thing's a screaming vacuum cleaner, but it's an awesome car. So here's where things get a little bit tricky. This is supposed to happen on December 31st, starting at probably 00:00 GMT time. Well, you know that the 100% bonus fame race is on your 30th day, not your 31st. To make the 30th day login happen on the 31st, you have to skip one of your logins. You have to not play for an entire day and not get the end of the month gold bonus. Okay, so I'm warning you about everything in advance, because if this doesn't work, you're going to miss out on that. Don't come back at me. I'm giving you the opportunity to earn 8 times fame. I'm just saying there's some risks, all right? So disclaimer 4, you will most likely miss the month-end gold bonus. I say most likely because of what I'm about to share next. If you are in the Western Hemisphere and you have negative GMT time, then this is going to happen for you naturally, but you won't have too long to run the race. It all depends where you live. For instance, for me, I'm at -6 GMT, which means that this will start for me at about 6 p.m. or 1800 hours. So I could comfortably have like 5 hours and 50 minutes to run a race. You can't start until the period starts, and you need to finish your race before the period is over. You really don't want to gamble with that, or else the whole thing could be lost as far as your bonuses. So that's an advantage to people who are in negative GMT. If you aren't, if you are negative GMT but you want to run like 10 or 12 hours of a race, or you want to be able to take some breaks, then I would suggest you skip a day so you've got that time to play with. So you've got more options if you're negative GMT. Now you're probably wondering, what GMT are you? Okay, well, let's just say you're in Tokyo. So you would do an internet search. What time zone is Tokyo? That's what you would type. It'll come up and say Tokyo is GMT +9. So Greenwich time +9 hours. That means midnight +9, so it's 9 a.m. That means that this starts for you in Tokyo at 9 a.m., but it starts for me the day earlier at 6 p.m. So that's like 9 + 6, that's 15 hours difference, but it's happening at the exact same time. It's just we're at different times all over the world. Woo, getting all squirrely, and then smacking head on, and it doesn't matter. You can watch this, I'll recover in the background here. Okay, so let's get into what options are there, because there is a lot of them. And to be frank, I can't cover all of them. For one, I don't have all of them open to me, and some of them aren't good. One very important thing, do not choose any $M race, okay? Because you can't hire the agent. You're giving up 4 times earnings if you choose an $M race. Don't do that. So I'm saying that especially because I'm about to give you an internet link, and in there they do show like Formula One cars and other cars like that are $M paying cars. Do not choose any of those races. However, there is a Melbourne race which you can run in the 412 or the F14, and those are $R cars, so you can hire the agent. So that's what I would say. Go through that list. You can see here, you can organize it by what pays the most amount of fame. The fame pay will vary depending on how fast you run. I earn more than what this says, but other people earn less. They also have a difficulty scale on the left here. So the lower the number, the easier. So this race is rated pretty easy. Other races are rated 5, which would be very difficult according to that scale. So there you go. Make your choices there. Porsche short track is easy. This is generally harder in most cars, very easy in this car. Silverstone has a lot of good examples. I would stay away from the bridge circuit because you can run into trouble where all the bots disappear. But if you know how to get around that, then you can get around that. I'm going to show you how totaled this car is, okay? I just want you to see how absolutely totaled this is, and I still could keep on going, no problem. So it's good to choose something where you don't have to have maximum concentration all the time or maximum effort all the time. Let's also look at how much I could have earned. Here's my base pay, which took me about 45 minutes. On 8 times fame day, that would have been just over 392,000 fame. But if I went for 4 hours, it's almost 2.1 million fame. Wow. As I get to my final point and conclusions, let's head back to Le Mans, the 24-hour circuit, in the Bugatti Bolide, an insane car that goes well over 500 kilometers every single lap. I'm going to go well over 500 right here. It's the antithesis of the McLaren MP4X. I've got to get on the brakes before I can even see the corners. Okay, so doing one really long race is definitely your best option. After that, you're actually better off doing the 10-lap race or 4-lap Ferrari F40, F50 race, things like that, unless you can do the McLaren MP4X race. That is always the best race compared to really just about everything else. Make sure you hire the agent every single time. It's really not to your benefit to do just a single lap race. There are some high-paying single lap races, but then you're kind of wasting your agent when you're having to hire that every single time for 1 gold. Please like and subscribe. I'll have various links popping up here. You could check out various different races. You might want to do some training heading up to this. There have been cards coming up here during this video. Please heed my disclaimers and my warnings. Best of luck to you.